think I got most of this stuff.
Yeah, this would be a good one for you. How's it going, Gary?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. I got that email, like an internet lead or something you sent my way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I reached out to him, but
Good.
that's where it is now.
Yep, just keep reaching out.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good. How are you?
Good, man.
Yeah.
Do you have a good weekend?
I did. Well, I had an open house Saturday and Sunday, but it was pretty slow being out in Junction City. So,
I'm
but
surprised because the Scandy Fest was out there.
yeah, maybe it was. I didn't advertise it prior to it because I just went active on Thursday, and then I held the open house on Saturday. So maybe I needed to give it like a full week of marketing, but the sellers are motivated. So I was like, yeah, there's no sense in me not doing an open house. And I told them it might be slow because of Scandy Fest, but
Yeah.
they were understanding.
Gary, can I ask you what did you do for the open house? What did you do prior to the open house?
Just Facebook and Instagram ads.
Okay. Did you door knock before your open house to invite the neighbors?
I did a couple of them. Yeah. The immediate neighbors I did with my time that I had.
Yeah.
And then just people I knew in and around Junction City, told them and told their friends. And so.
Okay. And then what did you do to capture people that came? Capture their information?
I had a sign-in sheet. And then I had one scheduled showing. So, and it was a realtor team that came in with their clients. And then the other people that came in were just, I had them sign in and then reached out, but it was all people I knew already.
Okay.
So I didn't really have anybody walk in off the street except for the people that scheduled the showing.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But I told them I'm gonna do a internet campaign this week. So like a just listed kind of push, spend a little more money on advertising.
Do you have
Door knock.
do you have a tablet or a laptop?
I do. Yeah, both.
Okay. Can I suggest that when you go to an open house, take your tablet instead of a sign-in sheet
Okay.
and offer them something of value. Offer them the information of the house rather than having flyers there. Offer them, put together a list of local open houses around you.
I did that. I had that.
Okay.
I had a list of those.
But have that on your computer, on a PDF
Okay.
for, and then offer them things of value like that. And, well, let me get your email and let me go ahead and send that out to you. And
Yeah,
then do it on your laptop or your tablet. And then another follow-up is that, once you have their email, say, hey, just in case I put your email in here wrong and stuff, or, do you have a number that I can call if I need to get a correction? And,
Yeah. Okay.
and just capture their information. And I think, by doing that, you'll find you get better results.
Yeah.
You'll be able to you'll be able to follow up with more people, because a lot of times if they write things down, sometimes they don't write down the absolute truth. So,
Right. Oh yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
good
I had
tips.
my iPad out, but I just had a slideshow of all the pictures.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I like that. You hand them the tablet and let them put their information in on the tablet.
Yeah.
On the iPad.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll get started with our accountability. I think some more people probably end up trickling in, but I want to make sure we get started. Gary, is there anything else you wanted to add with your accountability? You kind of summarized some of it, but anything else?
I excuse me, hand wrote some more cards. I love doing that. So I did get another, 8 or 10 of them written out this weekend and sent out with business cards in there. And I'm getting texts and emails, hey, thanks for the card. People even posted on social media, like, look what I got in the mail. And, I put in there like enclosed are a couple table shims for you to steady your table, not like, and people love that. So trying to make it fun and not just here's some business cards for people that you may know, beep, bop, boop. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job. Jen?
Hey, I can't remember if I shared that I sent thank you letters to the people that I put the open house signs on. Did I say that already?
Not that I heard, so you might have, but maybe not.
I mean, that was last week, but I did. Okay. And then I got up to 100 on command.
Awesome.
So I want to get to 200 at least before we're all done with this. But I'm halfway
Good.
there.
Yay, good job. Good progress.
Thank you.
Jackie?
So I did my first open house on Sunday, and that was definitely an experience. I could not get the box open, so definitely everybody that has not gone to viewed houses or done any of that, highly recommend to do that before you start open houses. It was a struggle. It took me, I was there an hour early, and I didn't get the box open until 5 minutes before the open house is supposed to start. So
Oh no.
I was a little stressed, but
what was the hiccup?
I still have no idea. I was on the phone with Jen Kostrava, is the one that I was doing it for, and she was walking me through it. First, I didn't update the app or whatever the same day, but I don't even think it was that. It just would not fall out. It would not come out of the slot, and eventually, like, it just made. I got it out. It was, my stress level was to the max, because that was like my fear going into it. I was like, I'm gonna get there. I'm not be able to open the box. But after that, everything was pretty smoothly. We had like 5 people show up. Every single person though that I spoke to said that they had an agent already and they could name them and stuff. So I felt kind of like, just kind of, I don't know, trying to provide them value still and, talk about the house. But it was just really good to get out there and talk with people that are interested in buying houses and that are actually, aren't friends that I've talked to or anything like that. So it was a good experience. And then I got some thank you cards sent out today, but that's pretty much where I'm at today, but we'll make some more phone calls later.
Nice. Good job. Maddie?
I had 2 open houses this weekend. There was probably 10 people that came, which is pretty good. I got 1 lead from it. They're buying in the spring. It was kind of crazy because there was a bee's nest in that house and people kept getting stung.
Oh no.
That was fun. But other than that, I sent out an email campaign this morning for my little 33 touch, and then I'm working on the postcards.
Awesome.
I think that's all.
Good job.
I think that's an aha moment. Bring an EpiPen with your open houses.
Right? We should all
Right,
carry
something
one
you
with
wouldn't
us.
think about.
Yeah.
Or I guess it would be a good heads up when people get there, like just be aware that this parameter is danger zone.
Roseanne.
I finished my buyer's packet because I will be selling. I have someone interested, so that's great. I got my mother-in-law's old school address book, and I'm going to go through that today and add to my database everybody that I can. And I do have another lead, one of my husband's coworkers, interested in buying, no agent. They've been looking for a while, so that's great. That's a pretty strong lead. So I'm going to contact them today. So
Yay, good job. Lucida.
Yes, just working on my note cards and sending out note cards to them. I do have another buyer lead that I need to finish my buyer's consultation package. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Good job.
Mhm.
Tony.
I feel like I was not very productive at all this morning, and I was out of town for the weekend. So all I was working on this morning was my buyer's packet, just trying to go through that and play around with it and put that together. So that's all.
Good. Glad to hear so many people are implementing right away what we finished learning about last week. So that's really good. Oriana.
Hey, yeah, so had an appointment with a elder law attorney that I did a Zoom meeting with on Thursday, and then she forwarded my information onto a reverse mortgage loan officer. So I've got a connection there and sent out a couple of thank you cards this morning and am putting together a follow-up email to some other lawyers.
Awesome. Great job. Haley.
Hi, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of updates right now. I guess the biggest thing that happened is last week my buyer officially got pre-approved, so that's good. And I've was really busy this weekend with my other business, so I didn't really get to do a whole lot this weekend. But next weekend I'm planning on trying my best to get my first open house, maybe even two this coming weekend. So that's what I'm working on, and just doing database work.
Awesome. Great job. And Ethan.
Hi, yeah. So I've been adding contacts to my database. I got 48 this weekend, just from all those different areas that I've been contacting people and just finding a whole bunch of contacts and just talking with them and getting them on my mailing list.
Great. Good job. Amanda.
Yeah, I've got 4 buyers that I just got connected with a lender. One of them is already a homeowner, so I'm going to be working on a CMA for listing her home. I've gotten in touch with a couple lawyers in the area, specifically like divorce and estate lawyers, to try to get leads and create some symbiotic business relationships there, as well as I worked in a medical facility for the last couple of years. So I know that a lot of times, and this is just a heads up for people that aren't in my area, a lot of those people, when they have to go into an assisted living home, need to sell their house to pay for their care. So I've been reaching out to some different facilities to talk to the directors there about getting different, kind of business exchanges set up that way. Today, I'm going to be attending a jewelry party. So I'm planning on bringing a good handful of business cards, since we're all a bunch of, I don't want to say salespeople, but, a little bit, and kind of just basically doing a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of online marketing as well. I set up my realtors.com .com site. I've got a business page on Facebook. So just really hustling that out. My sign should be here any day. I got some ad signs that I'm planning on trying to put in a few different yards and just get my face out there in front of people.
Awesome. Great job. All right. Did I miss anyone? I think I got everyone. Perfect. So Dan, when you come across the content or part of the content that's kind of reviewing the action items from previously, you can skip over that part and just get straight into the content. So now I will start with introducing you guys to our amazing instructor that we have today. He is Dan Goss. He's a principal broker with Eugene Real Estate, powered by Place, a team within Keller Williams Realty. He has a background in business, owning and operating 2 packing and shipping franchises, and law enforcement as a deputy with the Lane County Sheriff's Office. Dan has been a licensed realtor in the state of Oregon since 2007, with the last 6 years being with Keller Williams in Eugene. So I will let him take it away.
Well,
I'll stay on while you.
today I'm just as much of a rookie as you guys are. The amount of studying I did to get ready for this course turned out to be the wrong class. So I am winging it today.
Oh no.
That's okay. You're a wealth of knowledge, so they won't even know if you.
We won't even, right, we wouldn't even know.
It's called disclosure. So
You know what you're doing though, so you're all good.
so anyway, what I want to do is get right into it. So today is find and show homes. And so finding and showing homes isn't all about just looking on MLS. There's some various ways, and hopefully that you get some aha moments and some good ideas after today's course. So I guess I'm going to go into my share screen, and where to go?
Bottom of your screen, there should be a green button.
Yeah, no, I've got that. I'm wondering where the course went. I had it up here. Ignite. There we go. Okay. So getting started, the expectations. Basically learning techniques for qualifying homes that you find online, developing your showing skills, practice powerful scripts. Always practice your scripts. It's really important that you become experts in that, and so that you at certain points with the scripts that you can start plugging in kind of your own little twist to it, so that it fits you, that it becomes comfortable. So always practice your scripts. The action reel. So the mission here is to answer questions about any videos that you watch. My goal is, and then provide your ahas. Like I said, there's always something. If you can get one aha out of any training, it's a successful training. So hopefully you get one aha today. And then keep up with your daily 10-4s, everyone doing that. See,
that's the part you can kind of skip over, since we just did their check-in with their accountability. Perfect.
Okay, so lead generate. So at this point, you want to get out your call lists. And do you want them to go ahead and spend 20 minutes?
You can, or you can come back to it like midway if you want.
Yeah, I think let's come back to it. Let's not just start out with your call list. We'll find a place to put that in. So finding the right home quickly is a win-win. people, especially a buyer that is a hot buyer, they're ready to go. They've gotten pre-approved or they're a cash buyer. They're going to want to know, they're going to want that home fairly quickly. And so you want to be able to find them the right home quickly. The stats on NAR, let me pull that up. This is looking awful lot like. So 92% of the buyers use the internet for their home search process. And you know, the thing about it is that you want to utilize those areas where you are going to have the best opportunity to get buyers homes. And so because they're looking on the internet, you want to be also looking on the internet. You want to not only use the MLS, but you want to look at places like Craigslist, Zillow. Zillow carries also for sale by home, for sale by owners. So you want to look at for sale by owners on Zillow. Like I say, Craigslist. Those places you're going to find homes that aren't necessarily in the RMLS, and if you're not doing that, that's where people are looking, and you want to be looking at the same areas. So qualifying properties, reduce the list of matching properties, and so I think there's a place here that this is probably a good place to go ahead and show a video. This video talks about how to funnel properties, how to reduce the properties. So I'm going to bring that up. Oops, no, wrong one. There we go. And
hi, my name is Sean Healy, and today I'm going to teach you how to create urgency through the showing process. And the first step is setting expectations. We tell buyers that it is a seller's market. What that means is the best homes go fast. The next area that we set expectations in is multiple offers. We tell our buyers there's going to be a lot of other buyers out there, and you may find yourself in a competitive situation. The third area that we set expectations on is condition. Many of the homes that they're going into are going to be move-in ready, but they need a little bit of work. The next step in the process we call the funnel. And essentially, we're trying to take the entire MLS and funnel it down so that at the end of the day, there can be only one house that takes out the bottom. What I'd like you to do tonight, pick out the best 10 or 15 homes, and then tomorrow drive by those homes and check them out. I want you to pick out the best 3 or 4, and we'll go out and take a look at those homes. Next part is the actual showing process. We show the first house. You'll ask the buyer on a scale of 1 to 7, leaving out the 4, 7 being perfect, and there is no perfect home, and 1 being unlivable, where would you rate this home? Inevitably, the buyer will answer it's a 5. And the reason they give you a 5 is because they don't have anything else to compare it to on the very first home that they've gone to see. Then what you want to do is try and reinforce what's making it a 5 for you. And the next question you asked said, what are some of the things that you would do to move it more towards a 7 if you were to purchase it? You go on to the next house. Now you ask an alternative of choice question. Pretend you had to buy one of these 2 houses today. Which one would it be? The last one we saw or this one? They liked the first one better. Perfect. Go to the third house. The third house would be the same thing. You say, all right, Gary, pretend there's only 2 homes on the market and you have to buy one today. Which one is it? The first one we saw or this one? And they say, this one. And you repeat that process over over and over until you get to the last house. At the end of the day, you say, well, it looks like 123 Main Street was your favorite house. So right there from the house, we call the listing agent, find out if the home is still available. Let's go back to the office and get this property written up before somebody else gets it. My biggest aha out of this came when I was out with one of my first time buyer families, and we drove up to his house and my buyer said, I don't even want to go in that one. What he ended up telling me at the end of that trip was, Sean, what I want you to do is print me out a list of every home that matches my criteria. I'm going to drive by those homes and I'll tell you which ones I want to see. Aha. Hey, thanks for watching KW Connect and make it a great day.
So anybody get an aha out of that?
Quite a bit of aha.
Yeah, there you go. You know, the thing is, I can't tell you how many times, and it took a while, you know, to learn this, but I would have somebody who wants to take a look at a house an hour away, and to get there and say, you know, we don't, yeah, now that we're here, we really don't need to see it. We know that we're not interested. Much better to be able to get people to actually go out, drive by, and it will save you a ton of time. The whole name of the game here to excel in business is leveraging your time. And so if you're not leveraging your time, if you're going out and you're showing every single house that they want to see without them doing drive-bys, you're probably wasting a good amount of time that you could be doing more lead generation and you know, producing more business for yourself. So I understand if it's really close, you know, just hop in the car and go, but it's really a good idea to go ahead and make a list of homes that that you think that they are interested in, or that they've told you that they're interested in, and have them do drive-bys, and then set up a time when you can see those top three and narrow it down. So qualifying the properties. One thing you want to do is make sure you get as much criteria as possible, you know, from that person to be able to qualify the right properties when you send them. So asking them questions. What are they interested in as far as specifics, but also what they're interested in as far as usage. You know, do you need a large backyard for your pets? Do you need, you know, do you need this? Do you need that? That's going to be useful to you, and narrow that down. It really helps also if you ask your client to give you feedback on the houses that you're sending them. You know, if you're sending them the right properties, if you're sending them something that's close, it really helps you to help them by having them tell you, you know, hey, this one is pretty close to what we're looking for. It's not quite there, but it's going to set you on the right track to find the right home. So preparing to show a home, let me get on the right. One of the things is when you show a home, you want to get there before your client. You want to get there long enough before your client to be able to turn the lights on if the lights aren't already on. You want to go through the house yourself before your client gets there. The reason for this is, first of all, to find out certain points that you might want to highlight. Secondly, is you want to also make sure that there's not something hazardous that's around that your clients don't want to get into. It's really important that you're there first. You preview the house first before your client gets there, and you'll be much better prepared when your client does get there.
Can I say something about that real quickly? I just want to interject something. one time I went to an open house and the agent, I was wondering, where's the washer and dryer hookup? I couldn't find it anywhere. So I went to the agent and I said, hey, where's the washer and dryer hookup in this house? She didn't know either. And I just thought, oh man, what if I was a client actually interested in this house? That would be, you know, a little, I don't know. I just thought it was a little weird that she wasn't prepared, you know, is what I was trying to say. She didn't know anything about the house yet, didn't even know where the laundry room was. So it was a little weird.
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, it's if you're late getting there, probably, you know, you're scrambling between showings of different people. It happens sometimes, but you can be prepared to show that house by really going through the pictures of the house, all the information, pull up our lid and go through more information there. When was it sold? Does our lid match what is actually on the listing? You can go into county records and pull up online. You can pull up permits. You know, so you know if they're saying that there's an addition or something like that, you can pull it up, and if it's a recent addition, there should be a permit that they have scanned online. So there's various ways that you can prepare for, you know, to show a home before you actually get there. But if you can get there, you know, prior to your client, that's probably most important, is to be able to go through the home yourself. You know, you're able to not just turn on lights, but like I say, you're able to find the highlights of that home when you go in that may not be in the MLS. There may be something that your client is looking for that isn't in the MLS, but you see it in the home and you're able to point that out. For instance, I've got a client I've been working with for over a year and a half now. We're going back for the third time on a house. They've never done that before, so I'm hopeful. Her insistence is that, you know, the kitchen has to be a certain way. She's very specific, and even me and her husband look at each other waiting for the reaction when she first walks into the kitchen so that we know, is this possible or not? And and sometimes we just laugh at it. You know, we know what we're thinking and we just laugh at each other. But anyway, know the things that your client is looking for and see if that house has to offer when you do your preview. Home touring etiquette. So very important as far as safety issues is to not lead your clients. You know, if it's somebody that you're meeting for the first time, very important that you let them lead through the house and you can point out the highlights. Don't ever get in front of a person. I'm saying that from the law enforcement aspect is, you know, for safety issues, you don't want to ever turn your back on somebody you've never met before. Now, they may seem all nice, you know, nice and everything on the phone, but you definitely want to trail your client, you know, whenever you're showing a house. And it may not be part of etiquette, but it's part of safety. You know, letting your clients talk if they're, you know, if there's a husband, wife, you know, asking them if they have any questions, pointing things out. Don't just point out the good stuff either. If you see something that's wrong with the house, you need to point that out too. The last thing you want to get in is that you're representing your client. They buy a house and you know of something that's wrong with that house and you didn't point it out. You're there to represent the client. You're there to help the client. You're not there to sell them on the house. And so you want to make sure that you point out the good and the bad. You know, typically when I show like a manufactured home, almost every manufactured home, one of the first things that they have an issue with is they start developing a crack along the beam that separates the two pieces. And so I always look up. I always look for that. I look for evidence of patches. You know, if anything's been patched up. I'm going to point that stuff out because it's going to show up in the inspection maybe, but if you see it and you tell your client ahead of time, they're going to trust you. You're building trust with your client. So point out the features and benefits, but also, like I say, is to make sure that you are pointing out what you see that is wrong with the house too. Where there's no passion, there is no vision. So you got to be passionate about what you do. You know, I've gone from various jobs working out in the woods, reforestation, well drilling. I was in law enforcement for a while. Went back to school to get my degree. Wanted to go into teaching. Got a bachelor's degree. Decided that, you know, to buy one of the franchise that I worked for, and I ended up buying that and bought another one and worked that for a while. But I really didn't have a passion for those things. You know, the longest stint that I ever worked in a position was 7 years. And when I always had real estate in the back of my mind. And so when I got into real estate, I became passionate about it. And so I've been doing real estate for 15 years. And I tell this to my kid, you know, he's 17 years old. Whatever you do in life, be passionate about it. You know, your job, you got to be passionate about it. You got to enjoy doing what you're doing. And, you know, and so be passionate about real estate. If you're not passionate about real estate, it's probably not the career that you want to be in. I'm passionate about my clients. You know, I make friends, you know, with my clients. I have longtime friends and friendships with my clients. I have most of my business is referral business. So, you know, my past clients are referring business to me. So be passionate. And if you can't tell, I'm winging this. I'm done with the papers. I'm winging this for you. So bear with me. Bring your buyers to a decision. So facilitating a decision-making process. Create buyer urgency. That didn't give me they didn't give me that video. So we're not going to be watching that video because I'm not going to hunt for it. So creating buyer urgency, you know, in this market especially, it's a seller's market. Now we are having a bit of a trend going the opposite way. However, if you look at the months of inventory, it's still a seller's market. We're still seeing multiple offers on several properties. And so the sense of urgency is to be upfront with your buyers and tell them that what the market is. This is seller's market. Expect that, you know, when something comes up that you like, it probably will go pretty fast. So we have to move fast. And that, you know, there may be multiple offers. Prepare them for that. Know how to write up an offer so that it attracts to the seller over the other offers. One of the things you can do is to, and I'm getting a little off beat here, but when you write an offer, find out what the seller needs from the other agent. Do they need time after close? Do they, you know, are they looking for you know, a longer close, or, you know, so that they got a little more time, or are they looking for a shorter close? You know, are they, you know, what are the terms that they're looking for? You know, can you fit your buyer to the seller's terms and write an offer to indicate that my buyer will do whatever it takes to satisfy the seller because they want this house? And so think a little bit outside the box and not just about, you know, well, you know, I'm writing up, this is what my buyer wants to pay for it. This is the terms, and leave it at that. You know, explore a little bit and think outside the box when it becomes that. So creating buyer urgency is informing your buyer, letting your buyer know that, you know, we found the house that they like, we need to move on it fairly fast. So it's important that not only, you know, that they have an offer that is attractive and that you get that offer in as quickly as possible, Set a sense of urgency for the listing agent. If there's no other offers, make the response time shorter. Sometimes they put out that, well, there's multiple offers, we're due, you need to have your offer in by such and such a date. Sometimes they're going out 5 days, to get offers. Well, the problem is with 5 days is for your buyer, what if they don't get the house and then during that 5 days, another house came up? Set a little urgency to the listing agent too, and set your timeline to respond a little bit shorter, and explain it to them, that they really like this house. This is at the top of their list, but there's another house and they don't want to lose out if they're not going to get this house. And so we'd like to know a little bit sooner. The urgency also carries over to once they're pending. Once they're pending, it's very important that they understand that if the lender needs documents, they need to be on top of that. They can't delay the documents to get in, because that's going to delay closing. Strange things have happened whenever there's been a closing extension. The next section here are buyer objections. So there's scripts. I even carry these are pretty cool. So this is from the Ben Kinney team, and these are just cards. And I just open up, and there's almost virtually every objection. There's a little card with a script. And so I also carry, I also have my scripts sitting right here on my desk, so I can just flip through my scripts. But it's really important to practice your scripts. So what I don't know how you pair up. I'm mostly accustomed to doing trainings in front of people live, and so this is a little bit new to me. Do you practice your scripts online here? Yes, no?
I haven't experienced that. No.
Okay. I just want to, because I don't know how to be done, how to pair.
That'd be a little, challenging.
Yeah. So anyway, but spend time practicing your script. Typically what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice the script in the morning, start my day, do some affirmations, tell myself I'm great. My wife may say just think some different way, but at the same time, if I think I'm good at this, I'm going to be on. So say some affirmations, practice your scripts in the morning before you get started. If you exercise, it's better to exercise in the morning. It just makes you a little bit more alive. Showing at home, so mock showing, that's another way to practice. Take another agent, take your kid, take your spouse, take your parents, do some mock showings. Go show some homes. It's good to really learn the market, and by going to several homes on your own, preview those homes in a certain area and learn that market in that area that you're interested in, or that your client is interested in.
Would you recommend on doing, like if we were doing the mock showing, to just go to vacant homes or homes that are occupied?
No, you can do occupied too.
So actually reach out to like the listing agent and set up an appointment. And
I'd like to preview this home for my clients, because if you look at a home, you might have a client, if you've got a client base of buyers or potential buyers, you go to this home and you say, something, I think I've got a buyer that might be interested in this, after you look at the home.
Mm-hmm.
Something specific that triggers to say, this would match what my buyer was asking about. So don't hesitate to go to homes that are occupied. They're trying to sell, you're trying to sell their home too, but you're also learning about the market. It's also a good way to learn how to go to for sale by owners. and start previewing properties with for sale by owners there, and potentially get in and get a listing or get another buyer. They may be selling because they're buying and they're interested in buying another home. Maybe you don't get the listing, but maybe you become their buyer's agent. And so don't hesitate to go to homes that are occupied. So action plan, prepare for your next class. And then recall and remember, and then from ahas to achieve. You take your ahas and you incorporate those ahas. It's not just an aha to think, oh, this is what I learned today, but then you don't incorporate it. It doesn't do you any good. And then enhance your learning. One thing is that what the beauty about Command, you can go into Command and you can go into the university and you can pull up videos, anything that you want to learn about, you can pull it up and you can learn from that. The thing about it is that if you stop learning, if you think you know everything, it's time to probably get out of real estate. The real estate is fluid. There's always going to be a different style, a different type of market. When I got in this in 2007. At the end of 2007 is when I became a realtor, and at the beginning of 2008 is when I hung my license in January of 2008. Guess what happened in 2008?
Oh man.
And the market just went down. And if it wasn't for the fact that I knew how to market myself, because I had been a business owner, and I knew what it took to get out there and beat feet and do what it took, I wouldn't have survived that. There's going to be a ton of agents that are going to be turning their license back in because of what's going on in the market, and they've never experienced a down market before. And so it's really important for you guys to go ahead and keep educated. If you haven't read the book Shift, read it. Read the book Shift. That talks about how to handle a shifting market, and it's a really great read, and it'll help you get through that time. It'll help you make money during that time.
What's it called? Shift, did you say?
Yep. This is that's all the name of the book is Shift.
Who do you know who?
My copy is at home.
That's okay. I can do Amazon or something. I'm sure it'll pop up. But what a time, man.
Gary Keller. Gary Keller is the one that wrote it.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. What a time though.
I think he was a co-author. I think there's 2 authors on it. But oh, there you go. Shift.
Oh, there. Perfect. Thanks, Jennifer. But man, what a time for you to learn. I mean, just when everything's going down, and it's like survival of the fittest, and you.
Well, the thing is, if you get through a down market, just think how your up market's going to be.
No kidding.
You learn the techniques. The thing is that a down market, sometimes you have to go old school. You got to do your door knocking. You got to do your open houses. You got to do your calls. Block your time, leverage your time. If there's something, one thing I got an aha out of was with Ben Kinney. I don't know if all of you know Ben Kinney, but Ben Kinney is one of the top agents in the nation in Keller Williams. And he created a corporation with Place, and Place is a set of systems that are phenomenal. He got there fast. I mean, he hasn't been in Keller Williams, I think, half the time I've been, and he's one of the top agents in the nation. thousands of people in his groups around the nation. So when I looked at it, I thought, well, no brainer, because I'm paying about 50% on systems, and so I'm paying for his systems, only they're a lot better. But one of the things that he said is, he says the night before, between movies, between shows, whatever you're doing, find a quiet place and spend about 10-15 minutes and think about the next day, what you're going to do, and look at your calendar that you block your time. So always block your time. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. Inevitably, if it's not on the calendar, you're going to forget about something. So he said, and here's what my aha moment was. He says, look at your calendar and see what you can remove from your calendar that you can leverage your time by having somebody else do it, or take it off and do something that's going to be more productive. And I thought, well, that was pretty cool. I didn't look at it that way. I just looked at, how can I, how can I organize my day? And so, anyway, that was my aha moment. But he also talked about, put your list together of what you need to do the next day, just items of importance. And then when you look at those items of importance, narrow it down to three things. List your top 10, narrow it down to 3. And out of those 3 things that you need to do the next day, what is the most important out of those 3? And that's your focus. So another book, The One Thing. So that's a good book to read too. Teaches you how to focus on one thing, on the one thing that excels your business.
I'm gonna have to add that onto my schedule of reading books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The classic. I mean, what really spurred me on to real estate investing and things is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That series of books was an eye opener.
That's a great book.
It changes your thinking. I bought the game. The game was $200. I bought the game.
Oh my gosh.
It's a board game, but it's so cool. You play the board game before you read the book or look at watch the video, and then you watch the video, read the book, and then play the board game again. And it's like 4 years of education and college education, in a fraction of the time.
Wow.
And learning finance and learning how to think about finance. One of the things that you think about is, what do I do? And again, I'm kind of, it looks like we're at the end and I'm supposed to be teaching for 3 hours. So I got you for a little more time. I'm not going to coach. I'm not going to keep you for 3 hours. So
we never go to the full time, I swear.
Yeah. But anyway, one of the things you think about is that, the poor dad, who was actually made good money, was a principal. His dad, his actual father, his way of thinking is that I'm going to buy a new car, and I'm going to finance that car. I'm going to, I make enough money for it, so I'm going to buy that car. Now you got a monthly expense there, but he can afford it. He makes good money. He's a superintendent at a school district in Hawaii. So he makes good money. Pay for that car. The rich dad says, take the money that you would have paid for the car, invest that into something else that creates a passive income that will pay for that car. Difference in thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're going into a down market, one of the things you want to realize is that it's a great opportunity for you as a realtor to start getting rid of bills that you don't need and start putting that money away to start investing in real estate when the market goes down. That's, we hit right at the right time. So like I say, 2008, well, in 2010, we bought 3 properties. We already had one. We bought 3 properties at the down market. I bought a home in Florence, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with 400 square feet, extra bonus room that was next to the garage that we turned into a studio apartment. And we picked that up as bank-owned property, and we picked it up for $57,000. You know, it's worth almost 400 right now.
Wow.
And so you pick things up in a down market, you rent them out. Airbnb is big, huge right now. And so then at the top of the market, if you want to sell, you just made a bunch of money. Roll it over. Oh, a couple. I'm sorry, I didn't look at the chat shit. Okay, smiley face. Okay, we're good. Anyway, the point is that you have opportunities in a down market. You have opportunities in an up market. You know, it's easier to get deals. You know, obviously. You know, people who are just getting licenses coming into a hot market, you know, aren't having to work as hard as you have to when it's a down market. But you're learning the things now that are going to teach you how to excel in a down market, and you have opportunity to invest yourself. So, is there any questions? I mean, you have, I got plenty more to go that I can go through, but you know, my goal is to help you guys to, you know, excel and be the best that you can be. And so if you have any questions, you know, shoot.
What was that book board game that you were talking about?
What?
The book board game thing you were talking about.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, it's by Robert Kiyosaki. And he has a series of them. He talks about the quadrant, you know, and the quadrant includes, you know, employee, business owner, and then, you know, self-employed, and then, you know, investor. And you kind of go through this and you figure out where you're at on the quadrant and where you'd like to be on the quadrant. And he tells you how to get there, what you need to do, how you need to think to get to that other spot. But he also has books on investing in rental properties, and Keller, you know, Gary Keller has some good books on investments, and you know, that you can read. I mean, there's just a lot of good books that are out there, but those were my favorites.
And do you know, I'm new, so I mean, we're all new, obviously, but where would we find because I'm not able to get in sometimes in the mornings to do this practice scripts. So do they have them? Are they in the university where we could go in and all different types of scripts that we could print out and go over?
If you look up scripts, have any of you attended a BOLD class? We just had one here in Eugene recently. Okay.
I haven't, no.
I highly recommend that when another BOLD class comes around in the area, that you attend BOLD. You know, it's about $800 to attend. They do have scholarships that you can apply for, but I mean, when I first went to BOLD, my business was kind of, you know, when I first got into business, one thing I didn't do is I didn't hook up with Keller Williams. so it was an independent agency, and it was just because a friend of mine was, you know, owned the company. And so when I got in, the training was, hey, you know, my brother's going to show you how to talk to people on the phone. I just ran 2 franchises. I know how to talk to people on the phone. I have plenty of experience. And when he was trying to teach me, I realized, you know, I'm already better on the phones than he was. So that was my training. I didn't excel in real estate. I was able to work enough in real estate to support myself and to make a decent income. But it wasn't until I joined Keller Williams that I realized that, you know, I didn't know anything. It's kind of like I was a javelin thrower in college. My high school was a small high school, you know, graduating class of 32 people. We didn't have coaches out there that knew how to throw. So I just watched people who didn't know how to throw, and that's how I threw. So it's kind of the blind leading the blind. When I got into college, you know, Lance Deal, who is the American record holder in the hammer throw, silver medalist at the Olympics, he became my coach. And all of a sudden, light bulb goes on. You go, wow, well, that was the same thing. You know, I've been floating through real estate companies and not really have the training. When I got to Keller Williams, it was like the Lance Deal, you know, of real estate. You know, it was no brainer. And that's why I've stayed with him, because the people that come in, you know, that we're recruiting for my team, you know, I want them to have the best training, the very best training that's out there. I constantly hear from agents in different companies that say, you know, well, yeah, you know, we just don't get the training. We just don't get the training, you know, and here you have all the training available for you. So, you know, KW University, you know, has all of that, and you have complete access to it. And so you can just plug into the search, you know, plug in what you want, and it's going to bring up all kinds of things. So if you want scripts, just plug in scripts. You know, there's going to be all kinds of things that come up.
Good, thank you.
No problem.
I have a random question.
Sure.
I forget, it's not about this, but it's like, I thought I heard there's 4 ways to lose earnest money. And I know that if they don't fill out their paperwork on time, that's one way. Within like the 3 days or whatever. And then just backing out, they lose their earnest money. And then I thought there were 2 other ones. Am I?
I mean, earnest money, in 15 years, I've only had that happen twice, you know, where people have lost their earnest money. The first one backed out, everything, all the conditions had been cleared, and he just decided at the last minute not to buy it. And so he lost his earnest money. And then the other one was past his inspection period and decided not to buy it because of an inspection problem. And then he ended up, even though that we had told him he needed to have his earnest money in by a certain time, ended up getting his earnest money in a day late. And so we I'm take that back. The inspection period was within, so we were going to terminate, but they terminated first because his earnest money was late, even though that he had deposited it. And so what happened is that there was a stalemate. Both parties, you know, wanted the earnest money. And so what I did is I talked to the agent. I said, look, I said, would your client be willing to take half the earnest money? And he said yes. And I talked to my client and I said, hey, if you'll take half the earnest money, I know that we're going to put a deal together. You're looking for a house. On the next house, I will reimburse you. I'll put that money towards your closing costs, the other half. I'd rather lose, you know, $1,500 and to make, you know, 8,000 or 9,000 than, you know, and still have my client, rather than to keep haggling over $1,500. So losing your earnest money, yeah, if you don't put your earnest money in on time, they could come back and they can terminate. Likelihood is they won't, but they still could. And that was an instance that they did. The thing is that if your client's going to be late on earnest money, just go to the other agent and say, hey, they were late, they got busy and sidetracked, and so what I'd like to do is just go ahead and write an addendum extending the period that they have to put the earnest money in. Protect your client that way. Yeah, if all conditions are met, your client just backs out, then that's another way of losing their earnest money. If they're qualified, go to signing and then do something stupid like change their job or quit their job or something like that, their likelihood is they're going to lose their earnest money because they met all the qualifications, and it was their own stupidity that caused the problem. So they could lose their earnest money there. Other ways to it's very rare. Like I say, it's very rare. So you said that there was 4, just not meeting timelines. Any of the timelines they can terminate. So protect your client. What I like to do is I like to actually list the expiration. What's the expiration date of my inspections? What's the expiration date of the earnest money? What's the timeline for closing? Go ahead and list your timelines, and that way you have it in front of you. You can have even put it on your calendar if you want, and set an alarm, something that notifies you, hey, this is and so that way you're always protecting your client. A good transaction coordinator will do that for you, so it leverages your time and you're able to do that. I don't know why it keeps beeping, but I'm ignoring it. So I think there's only 5 people left on the call anyway, but I'm here until you're done with me. So if you have any other questions, go ahead.
I don't hear any beeping.
It's on my end.
Oh,
Yeah. Are you screen sharing? Yes, I am. So anyway, let me see what that says. There we go. Oh, there's more. Okay, never mind. There's more. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So I'm like I say, I'm here question and answer session, as long as you got questions. Anyone else? All you people down at the bottom here that are not asking anything.
Earlier you mentioned like when you're doing an open house, if I had a tablet and or a computer, is there a specific program that you use or did you just kind of develop something that they could fill out on your iPad, or did you download something?
No, I mean, I use Dropbox. So it's just a cloud storage program, and I know that there's cloud programs that come with with computers and things, but I like Dropbox. I've been using Dropbox. I can access Dropbox from any computer, and so I just store. I have my files all organized, and I just store my open house materials. And then, if I'm creating a new, area of open houses, I put that PDF in there. And so, when somebody, comes in, inevitably I end up getting people that don't want to give me the right information, or they don't want to, write down they write down their information. I had one guy come in and say, well, I know I don't have to sign anything, to see this house. I felt like saying, well, then you can't see this house. But I mean, it's a potential buyer. You don't want to,
yeah.
And so what I found is I have my laptop. I think I'm going to get a pad though. I'm getting tired of carrying my laptop. But I have my laptop out, and like you say, I've got it on this. I've got the listing on the screen, and things, and scrolling through pictures and stuff. But then when I'm talking with them, if they ask me, for info, do you have a flyer? And I said, oh, well, yeah, sure. It's a virtual flyer. So what's your email?
Oh, yeah, there you go. I like that. I like that.
You type their email in, you send them the flyer right then and there.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I've got, are you interested in knowing the other open houses that are in the area? And so,
Yeah.
I can go ahead and shoot that to you. I can shoot that to you. And, just in case, for some reason that I'm not typing your email in correctly or anything like that, what's your phone number so that I can give you a call to make sure that it's correct. Yeah, you capture their email, their phone number just by carrying on a conversation, offering something of value. So no, whatever it is, offer them something of value, something that they're going to see value. I'll tell you what, are you selling your house to buy a house? Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, let me put together a market report for you. And so, the system that we use, we've got a market report. Well, you can do a CMA form. You can show them the different, comps around there. Our market report just gives them, we send it out on monthly, weekly, or biweekly, and it just goes in and shows all the solds and new listings and so on and so forth, pendings that fit the same area and the same type of house as theirs, so they can see what's going on similar houses. So like I say, something of value. When you're doing open houses, it's not just about opening a house and having people come in. You need to spend that time before and go around the community, target 50 homes, go to 50 homes that surround that house, and you just tell them, hey, my name is Dan Goss, I'm with Keller Williams Realty. I just want to let you know I'm having an open house down at such and such an address, and the owner there would like to personally invite you to the open house. And so here's a flyer, and we hope that you can come, and you start building that rapport. Basically, you're not trying to sell them. And then you can say, by the way, do you know somebody that you'd like to have as a neighbor, that's looking to buy in this area, and and potentially get some, then if they say yes, great, if you don't mind, can I have their information so I can go ahead and invite them to the house?
I used that line on the neighbor this weekend. I was like, if you rather live next to somebody else, else that you'd rather live here,
just
definitely let them know.
You pick your neighbor.
Yeah, well, because I asked her, I was like, so how are the neighbors? And she was like, oh, I don't like them. I'm glad they're moving. I was like, well, let's hope this house sells. And if you know anybody that you'd rather live next to, definitely send them over. And she's like, oh, yes, definitely.
Well,
So,
and it's really key that you follow up with the people that you do have contact information same day. So after you're done with the open house, follow up. Here's another way to continue that open house is when it goes pending, go to those same 50 houses. Hey, something is a great open house. If they didn't come, you say, sorry, we missed you, and stuff. It's a great open house. Wanted to let you know that the house went pending, but oh my God, we had so many people interested in that house. Do you happen to know anybody in this neighborhood that's talking about selling their property?
That's a good one.
Have you thought about selling your property in the near future? And then another step, when it's sold. Hey, you probably know me by now, stuff. My name's Dan. I'm with Keller Williams Realty, and I just wanted to let you know that the house just closed. We just sold it, and there's still a lot of people that are asking about this area, and just thought I'd ask you again, maybe between the last time we talked and now, that you might know somebody that has talked about selling their house. Or if you're tired of knocking on doors, send out sold postcards. Sold. We had a lot of buyers who are interested in this area. If you're thinking about selling your house in the future, please get a hold of me. Here's my contact information. And the thing is that between all of that, that's 7 hours of work. And I guarantee if you do all of that, you're going to get 1.5 clients, closings per open house if you follow that routine. Now, think about that. If your goal is to have 2 transactions per month, that's 24 transactions per year. That's a pretty healthy income. And all I'm doing is doing 2 open houses and following that routine. That's 14 hours worth of work. Now, you're going to have extra hours following up with with the ones that are going to be closing, because you're going to be showing homes, you're going to be listing their houses, so on and so forth. And it doesn't have to be your list. You know, look, I'm assuming that a lot of the open houses that you're doing right now, just getting started, is other people's listings that you're doing the open houses on. Make them yours. You know, own that property. So hopefully that, you know, gives you some ideas to work on open houses. It's not just about opening a door.
Lead generation.
Make it inviting, Stephanie Coase was great about it. She was an agent here for a while, top agent, and man, champagne. You go to her open houses, it's champagne. So, anyone else? Going once, going twice. All right, keyword sold. Well, hey, it was really enjoyable being with you guys today. And
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, and like I say, I'm sorry I had lead generation down pat, because that's what I studied last night. Was the course on lead gen, and so this was kind of thrown together. I had offer I was working on, and I was also talking with my coach. So that's another thing is that having a coach is pretty important. What it does is you have somebody to answer to, and if you don't answer to your coach, you're putting out money that you're wasting it. So yeah. But if you get to that point, a coach is a really good thing for your business. So right now you got Mara. She's good. Follow her instruction. She'll lead you the right direction. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. See everybody.
Thanks, Dan.